Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Slow Burn Pro Wrestling Podcast, where all professional wrestling storylines live. As always, I am your host, Matt Brannon, bringing you all professional wrestling's news, notes, innuendos, and whatever else you can come up with in this fantastic world that is professional wrestling. Happy frickin' Saturday, everybody. Hope everybody has enjoyed themselves. I've been up and down. As you could imagine. All right, it's been a day. Okay, and I can't wait. I want to jump right into the stuff, guys, because everybody knows we're coming right off. I mean, literally just a little bit ago, coming off of WWE's Night of Champions live in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Card was good. Show was good. Everything was, I'm not going to say everything was good because everything was not good. Matter of fact, there were a few things that were far from good, in my personal opinion. So we're going to get through this, guys. Here's the plan. This is how I'm going to do this, okay? My original plan for today's show was to do a show prior to Night of Champions and then kind of do some predictions and that. I kind of gave a couple predictions already, but I was going to do some predictions and then we would be good. And then tomorrow I would go ahead and rehash that. Well, I said yesterday I had a sports card and collectibles show to go to today. Try to find me some new wrestling cards, right? And I got a late start. So basically what ended up happening is I fell a little bit behind on my day. So I'm doing a post Night of Champions review here, which isn't bad because that means tomorrow I get to do exactly what I said I wanted to do. And that was do a Mount Rushmore tomorrow. So for tomorrow, we'll have our normal Slow Burn Weekend Review Awards. All right. And then I'm going to do a definite Mount Rushmore tomorrow. And I am going to stick with what I said. I want to do Mount Rushmore talkers. We're going to talk about on the mic. Who was my Mount Rushmore on the mic? I'll probably put out a Facebook machine poll on this one here in a little while as well. It's been so long since I did one, so I'm excited to do that. All right. I'll do my homework later tonight because I got an idea where I stand. All right. Matter of fact, I'm pretty confident where I stand. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to the wrestling action, guys. Who gives a damn about my day? Although I did find some cool cards. So, regardless, I can't talk about Night of Champions until I get through SmackDown. I'm not going to do a full recap on SmackDown. I will tell you I scored it a B, kind of like everything else that we've had this week. We've had a lot of B work this week. As a teacher, you're happy with B work, but you sure would like an A every once in a while. So, I don't know. We're striving for perfection here, folks. But SmackDown last night, we gave it a B. We had 3 title matches. And like I said, we've got to get some of this out because if we don't, then Night of Champions is going to be a little wonky. So I'm not going to spend much time on them. I do want you to know that we had a women's U.S. Championship title change hands again. Zelina Vega loses to Julia. The young Julia just got her call up not long ago from NXT. I'll tell you this. Julia has been waiting on the main roster this whole time. Her whole NXT stuff was all about her getting familiar with WWE TV, helping her a little bit more along with the English language, things of that sort. So don't think that this is an NXT girl that just come up and now she's getting her flowers. This girl was ready from the shoot. Okay, much like Stephanie Vaquer. All right, they come in right around the same time. Julia a little bit before Stephanie, and then they're getting their chance to shine on the main roster. So Julia over Zelina Vega. We had a Zelina Vega wardrobe malfunction. You guys know in Saudi Arabia, I saw a post earlier. Somebody said, well, I don't know why they're wearing this gear. Well, it's because they're in Saudi Arabia, Muslim nation, and women don't show skin. I mean, we know that. So they had to be fully covered. And to be honest with you, I don't dislike some of the gear. I thought Tiffany Stratton's gear last night on SmackDown was fantastic. So regardless, that's the deal with that. So we had a wardrobe malfunction, which was weird because it looked like it was just her back, but you couldn't really tell. But you did tell that SmackDown cut quick to commercials, so that way they could get that taken care of. So that's what we were dealing with. Julia goes over. It was an okay match. What I'm hoping we get out of this is Chelsea Green getting another run at that U.S. title. That's the bottom line. Take this damn thing back because you deserve it. I don't know. Did she even get a rematch? Did she even get a rematch? Or contracted rematch? She's obligated to get a rematch, right? I don't know. Let's see. What else do we have that I wanted to mention? We did have a couple other title matches. No changes, I should say. Tag team, the Street Profits going up against the Wyatt Six. It's Joe Gacy and Dexter Loomis, almost lost Dexter, and he's been the most impressive one. I would love the fact that we got to see Eric Rowan kick a little ass, as well as there was tag team chaos. That's what I put as my note here. Tag chaos. It ended up being a no contest, basically because all of these teams ended up beating the shit out of each other. I love that they're building this tag team division. I'm so excited. I've been a voice of tag team wrestling. You guys know how much I enjoy a good tag. I think tag team wrestling sometimes can tell an in-ring story so much better than a singles match. And I like the fact we're building the division, but the chaos probably needs to take a little bit of a step back. All right. Let's let the wrestling talk. Let's let the talking talk. All right. I don't need friggin' 8 teams coming out to beat the hell out of each other every damn week. I mean, it just, at first, we're getting no action with the titles. Second, like, we're really getting very little spotlight on the Street Profits or whoever dethrones the Street Profits or whatever we do. So I don't like the chaos works a little bit. Like, I get that you have that lead in. There's so many teams involved, but now it's fallen flat. Like, what is this? Like 3 weeks in a row, 4 weeks in a row, where we've dealt with tag team chaos, whether it was interview sections backstage or stuff that happens out during the match. I don't know. It just, that to me wasn't, it wasn't good. I will tell you what was good. So Street Profits maintained. That's not what I'm talking about. That's good. What was good in the tag team side is, freaking Andrade and Ray Phoenix, right? Andrade and Ray Phoenix, they're going to go against DIY here. Basically, they tell Andrade, find a partner. I knew immediately who he was going to get. And let me go ahead and say, let them be a tag team. All right. First off, both of them should be chasing something right now. Okay. They're not going to chase the U.S. belt. That's going to be tied up for a bit. Neither one of them are chasing the heavyweight championship, the undisputed title, I should say. So tag them up, man. Let Andrade and freaking Ray Phoenix go together and put another team in this mix. Because I'm telling you what, out of all the teams that we saw last night involved in the chaos, I don't know if any of them can perform as well as Andrade and Ray Phoenix. It just is what it is. It worked for me. It was very, very good. All right. We had our main event match. It didn't close the show, but our main event match, Tiffy went over Nia. This match was excellent. All right, this was good stuff. I've said this before. Nia Jax, it needs more credit for what she does as a worker. She's a monster. We know that. She's a killer. We know that. But she also has done so much for Tiffany Stratton. It honestly, it's unreal, the work that she has done. And I believe she deserves her flowers, especially considering that I'm one of the people that have not been a Nia Jax fan, and now I am. She has won me over, and I want her to keep grinding. I want her to keep being this monster that she is, but at the same time, she's not unbeatable, and we know that. And the work she's doing in the ring speaks for itself. So fantastic match. Tiffy goes over. Pretty much knew that was going to happen because they're setting some stuff up for SummerSlam with Tiffy. So I was okay with it. But what we got was a hell of a match in Riyadh for SmackDown. So well freaking done. All right. Tiffy once again. And does she get better every time out too? I don't know. I mean, she's like freaking what, 24 years old, 25 years old. I don't know exactly. But like as young as she is, she works like a damn veteran. I heard Rhea Ripley say today, actually, in a post press conference, that she's 28 years old and a veteran. I'm starting to think that more about Tiffy. I mean, how much has she grown in the last year? Think about this. She's had battles with everyone. She wins Money in the Bank. Right, she has their battles with Nia. You know, she had some tag stuff with Nia, and then she battles Nia. She had her stuff with, excuse me, she had her stuff with Charlotte Flair. Like, now we're back to Nia, and we're getting ready to probably go against the winner of Queen of the Ring, who I know who it is, and Tiffy's going to be leading this show. So, really well done. All right, they closed the show, though, with a little one-on-one with John Cena and CM Punk. Once again, John Cena's entrance really, really gets me. I love the introductions. It ain't so much the entrance as it is the introductions. I enjoy it. The Never Seen 17. But my God, Punk was good. Was he not good? Comes out with the freaking Word Life, right? The freaking Word Life song, the Word Life graphics. We got freaking Punk Life. I mean, the whole thing. He's got the damn Chicago Cubs jersey. We don't hold that against CM Punk. All right, we don't hold it against him that he's a Cubs fan and a Blackhawks fan. That just is what it is. All right. When he comes out, he's in the Cubs jersey. He's got the freaking Blackhawks hat all cocked back to the side and backwards. Um, it was awesome, man. It was awesome. It made me laugh. I enjoyed every piece of it. Uh, man, oh man, these two have promoed the hell out of each other in the last couple weeks. But when we have the Cena cover song "Pipe Bomb" from last week, and now we go with the Punk "Word Life." Hell yeah, hell yeah! And Cena, he sat and took it, man, and he knew how he could keep himself from laughing. I don't know, that gives the tip of the hat myself, but yeah, how that whole thing just was amazing. It was an awesome way to end SmackDown. Hell, I wouldn't have been upset if CM Punk came out like that for the Night of Champions. You knew he wasn't going to. So the one thing I will say is the way that promo went down really kind of led me into the idea that I knew how this finish was going to be for the match itself. Then as the match progressed, which I'm going to talk about, I roller coastered a little bit. I even vocally said it a couple times to the folks that I was watching with. So by the way, watched wrestling once again with people who aren't normal wrestling fans but are slowly becoming wrestling fans, and it's so much fun to me, and I enjoy answering the questions, and I enjoy watching people enjoy wrestling that maybe don't live it and breathe it like I do, or like you do, all nine of you. So let's get to Night of Champions, man. Night of Champions. By the way, before we get on to it, I'm going to tell you I scored it a B as well. It had a lot of good moments. Wasn't that damn the freaking big ass Titantron? Wasn't that freaking backdrop screen something else? It was special, right? The way they do the Riyadh that arena that they're, or stadium I should say, that they're in, it's always fun. It's always really really awesome to see the entrances, especially Sami Zayn's. So what did we get at Night of Champions? Again, I put my number one note I put on here, it was a damn good show in parts. Okay. If everything could have been the main event, I would have been happy. However, the main event had some missing points too. So let's go ahead and dive right in. We opened up. I was surprised with our opener as we got the men's King of the Ring to open the show. Cody freaking versus Randy Orton. And wow, 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 wow. That match got me going. I knew going into this thing that it was Cody's to lose. I think a lot of people thought that. There were some Randy folks out there that I heard online, but the number one thing was going into this, I just wanted them to freaking go. I just wanted them to have a great match. I wanted to see, mentor, mentee, student, teacher, blah, blah, blah. And I felt like we got that. All right. What did I put here? Cody over Randy for King. Now we get what's coming for SummerSlam, right? We know what we're going to get. We're going to get, as of right now, we're going to get Cody versus John Cena. I can't see Cena losing this belt to Oldberg at Saturday night's main event. Maybe. I doubt it. I hope not. God, I hope not. But I will say that with this match, as good as the wrestling was in this match, and it was good, both these two guys in their signature spots are so damn good. And both of these guys, absolute professionals. The way they react with the crowd, it's so good. But with this match here, emotion. This was so much emotion, whether it be the nervousness of friend versus friend, mentor versus mentee, or whether it be the fierceness of I got to do this. This might be my last chance to ever get this belt again, to the point to where Randy went into his evil side a little bit. However, not so far that he actually punted Cody in the face. I was actually going, do it, do it, do it. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, I'm a Cody fan, and this is like, wow, but Randy is Randy. So the other thing about this was Cody's emotion too. Cody was very, very fierce here. Now, in the last couple weeks, you've heard me say this. Cody seems to be getting a little bit of, let's just call it what it is, an angry chip on his shoulder, right? And he said it in the SmackDown piece. That he did the night before, where he said, I keep getting interrupted in my promos. Guy, last week he didn't even speak in his own promo. He was the lead guy down and then doesn't even get to open the mic up. So I thought that this showed a fiercer side of Cody that we've been getting, way more so. Kind of multiplied a little bit. Cody had that look in his eye, right? That's what gets me, man, with this. That's what gets me with professional wrestling is just that idea of stirring that emotion, really getting things going. And both those dudes did a master class in emotion in this. You won't find much more as far as like gut wrenching. I gotta do anything I can to win, but he's still my friend, and I gotta fight from underneath, and now I gotta do whatever. It's just the whole thing really, really worked. And the one thing I was really glad about was we didn't have any interference, which was awesome. You know, did it actually finish clean? I don't know. It depends on how you want to look at it. I look at that as a clean finish. Even though Randy did take the metal turnbuckle to the ribs, kind of because it was of his own device, right? That's kind of the reason I look at it that way. But regardless, I love this match. I thought it was a hell of a way to start the show. I thought the women would start the show. You're in Saudi Arabia, right? So sometimes the women aren't going to get those pops that the men get. So I honestly thought that we'd start with the women, kind of work our way up. Cody and Randy be in the middle, and then we get a match prior to the main event. That was my kind of thought. We didn't get that. I'm glad we didn't. This was the perfect way to start the show. All right. Got the adrenaline pumping quick. One thing I did say about this, even though Cody goes over here, even though he gets the win, remember what Uncle Bully always says. It's not about going over, it's about getting over. And who got over in this match? Randy Orton. All right. That crowd was much more pro RKO than what they were American Nightmare. Now, Cody got some cheers too. Like, don't get me wrong. They were popping on both sides here. But I truly think that Randy was getting more of the benefit of the crowd. That kind of changed the momentum and the flow of the match. But because of the emotion that Cody and Randy were able to bring out of themselves and the crowd themselves, nothing felt off. I mean, nothing felt off. All right. The other thing I wanted to say about Randy being so over with the crowd, he was over and he was all over the place. You know, he had those moments of anger. He had those moments of evil. He had those moments of consciousness. Like, everything Randy did hit with me. I did. For me personally, this was the best Randy Orton match since he's came back. All right. And we all know Randy Orton's one of the greatest people to ever do this thing. So, like, awesome. So glad. Cody goes over. Cody's getting the shot at SummerSlam, but Randy Orton, I mean, flowers, flowers, flowers. Well freaking done. We had Rhea over Raquel in a Riyadh Boulevard street fight to kind of come up in the middle. I had a couple notes I put in this match. I don't spend a ton of time on it. Rhea beat the shit out of Raquel when she took her belt off and started literally whipping Raquel. And man, she whipped her and whipped her like, wow. I that was an ass kicking is what that was. Only plain and simple. That was an ass kicking. Liked the finish of being able to stand up on the table, which was draped across the turnbuckle. Delivered the avalanche riptide from the top. I thought that was a great finish. But other than that, the match, I mean, Rhea was great. I thought that Rhea's best interaction really was with Roxanne. And I hope that that's what we're going to get now. I want Rhea versus Roxanne. Remember what I said. Even though after the words, Rhea said she wants her baby back, she wants her belt back, right? Rhea doesn't need to have the belt. She doesn't need to have the chase. Rhea is so damn over what she could do right now before going back on this title chase, which she will. All right. I'm saying next year at Mania, Rhea will have that belt again. But what we really got out of that was give me Rhea versus Roxanne at SummerSlam. Roxanne's already over. She's already doing great freaking work. Put her in with Rhea at a big event like SummerSlam, and the sky is the limit. So that's what I want out of this. All right. Sami Zayn over Karrion Kross. You guys know how much I love Sami. There's not a better underdog fighter in all of professional wrestling than Sami Zayn. I've said before, I don't think anyone sells like Sami Zayn. And Karrion Kross basically beat him up for 10 minutes, and Sami comes through in the end. My question is it over? Like, that's the big thing here. I think that this needed to go. If this isn't over, if we still have Sami versus Karrion Kross now, like, Karrion should have won that match, in my opinion. I don't see how that could have furthered this story on. Sammy fighting as the underdog to overcome all the adversary to get back at Karrion Kross, and then boom, he beats him. Babyface goes over, all this good in the world, and then we move on. Like, that's how those storylines work. What really sucks with this is, does that mean that we're not going to see Karrion Kross on TV again for a while? You know, he proved in the ring today how good he can be in ring. So I don't know. That's why I'm a little iffy on this. I don't want to spend a ton of time on this match, but I will say I think it's over, and it did nothing to further either character. And again, the way that it ended, I don't see how you can further either character. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'll eat my words if they can keep this going and it gets better. I just have a feeling that that's it. And it's like, oh, we've had a month of build to this, and even though it's been like a really slow burn, even though it's been the build has been slow and it's been in small pieces and segments, I think it's over, right? Doesn't it have to be over? I don't know. So anyway, U.S. title match, guys. We did have a belt change hands. All right, Solo Sikoa over Jacob Fatu. I'm so pissed. I'm not pissed. I'm not pissed that Jacob lost. Don't get me wrong. It's wrestling. I get that. I'm just pissed that at times they made Jacob look a little weaker than what they probably should have. He has been too freaking strong. Wade Barrett on commentary tried to bring that back at one point. How does he get up from that? But at the same time, he took more of a beating than what we've seen him be. He's a babyface now. I understand that. It has to happen. However, what got Jacob Fatu over? Being the Samoan werewolf. Done. Full stop. Bam. Mic drop. You can't make him look weak. All right. Glad to see Tongaloa back. All right. You guys know I'm not getting into the Tongaloa suck stuff. I love Tongaloa. The work that he did in New Japan will always stick out to me. Yeah, I mean, he is New Japan. He is Bullet Club. He is Gorillas of Destiny. Like, I, I'm glad he's back. I'm glad he's back. And we had no inkling whatsoever that he was going to be back. So well done on that end, right? The other thing, we get the first appearance, finally, of Hikuleu. Now, they didn't say his name as Hikuleu, so I don't know what they're going to call him. They did call back to the fact that he is Tama Tonga and Tongaloa's brother. They said that he's a 7-footer, which he's very close if he's not there. But I'm going to say this, Hikuleu is bigger than he has ever been. Dude looks jacked right now. So I'm interested to see how they create this enforcer role with him moving forward. But now look at Solo's little group, guys. This group just became very freaking good. Solo Sikoa, JC Mateo, formerly known as Jeff Cobb, Tongaloa, and whoever the name will be for Hikuleu. That is going to be an unstoppable force. Now they have a belt. I'm good with it. I think it's great. I just didn't like the weakening of Jacob. Now the real question is, does Jacob go at this alone, or does he get some help? Jimmy Uso is ready to rock, baby. Get him in this storyline. Please get him in this storyline. It's needed. For both sides, it's needed. So there you go. Didn't like the finish because of that, but other than that, we're good. By the way, Solo, better every time in the ring. His facial sarcasm stuff is as good as anybody in wrestling, not named Roman Reigns. All right, there it is. The way he gets all sarcastic with his facials and stuff, so freaking good. So well done. All right, moving on to the women's queen of the ring. We're running out of time. I got to get going here. Jade Cargill over Asuka. I called this, knew this was going to happen. The match, I'm just going to call it what it is. I didn't care for this match. I didn't think the match was good. The finish was completely busted in my view. There's no way. I'm not part of the IWC, the Internet Wrestling Community referee police. They're out there. I know that. We hear it, we read it, we see it. However, I'm going to call this one out. There's no way Asuka's shoulders were down there. You can't tell me that this is a legitimate fight and then a legitimate contest, and then the contest ends like that. That just didn't work for me. They could have lengthened that pin. They could have reset it. They could have refinished it. But Jade doesn't even she completes her own finisher and then can't actually do the finish because she falls over to the side, pulling Asuka up, pulling the shoulder up, and they never showed that view on camera. Guaranteed. It was just a sloppy finish. I didn't care for it. I didn't like it. I didn't like the match. And now we're going to get Jade versus Tiffy. I don't know if that's the direction to go. I just don't. I knew it was the direction they were going to go. Just I don't know. I will say this: Jade Cargill's gear was freaking phenomenal. That's probably the best Storm X-Men Storm setup that she's had. So let's get to the main event, guys. We're gonna run short on time here, so gotta talk a little bit about John Cena, CM Punk. I mean, my God, how freaking good was that? Um, Sometimes people just dance. And sometimes your dance partner is just better than usual. You can tell these dudes have such history together. Yeah, they might have been a hair slower than what they used to be. I think I read that in Bleacher Report. They might have been a little slower, but they're still just as good as they've ever been. That's exactly what I took from this. I could watch John Cena and CM Punk wrestle for days. All right. I wouldn't have cared if they were the opener, the mid match, and the main event, and I would have been totally fine with it. By the way, as far as the match itself, it was a classic. It was a total classic. We had exchanges, we had physicality, we had multiple finishers. How many AAs did John Cena drop? Was it like 4, something like that? And then I think it was 3 kicks out of all 3 of them, and then we get the Seth finish because of the briefcase. I loved it. I loved it. I thought every part of this match was good. The big thing is like I need more of it, and I'm afraid that we're gonna kill it for a little bit. Remember, Cena's gone in December, guys. He's gone in December. So now what's happening? We know we now have an interaction with Seth Rollins, by the way, costing Punk the world title. Remember what happened the last time he cost CM Punk with something. So just remember this. We're gonna get more CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and you know what? Bring it, bring it. Give me more Cena and Punk. Promise me that, but give me more Punk Rollins too. Rollins comes out with the briefcase. He's got his huge crew with him, and Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. I still think there's somebody else coming. All right. Rumor is Ethan Page. God, that'd be awesome. That would be so good. But yeah, the whole match itself with Seth coming down, flashing the briefcase, like that worked. I originally said that Seth isn't going to cash in here because he's not in gear. He wasn't ready to wrestle. Fooled me on that. He definitely he was going to cash in. Like it was pretty clear and obvious. Doesn't get a chance to because of John Cena. And by the way, um, Charles Robinson might be dead. All right, referee Charles Robinson could possibly be dead because Cena literally killed him. All right, he comes down to call the match for Seth, Money in the Bank cash in. Cena freaking upends him. Wow, that was a ref bump from hell. So, referee Charles Robinson, as always, best in the business, right? So the whole thing here worked. Cena goes over because Seth smokes Punk with the freaking briefcase right after basically Punk was in control here. I mean, it was over. By the way, wasn't a super long count. Punk hits him with the GTS in the middle of this match. Ref is out. Dan Engler's on the outside. You knew how this was going to play out. You got the handshake, the blocked kick to the balls. I was loving to see that. Cena didn't hit anybody with a belt or kick anybody in the balls tonight. But I really liked the way this finished. We had the Seth briefcase to Punk's face. Cena then throws Seth out for the 1, 2, 3. Once again, John Cena takes advantage of a Seth Rollins beating up of Punk. Remember Money in the Bank, right? Cena was not beating Punk at all. Takes advantage of a Seth Rollins mishap in the ring, right? Same thing happens here. Seth Rollins once again costing CM Punk in a major, major way. So, all in all, what I put as my last note here is I need more. All right? And that's what I want. I need more. That's all I'm asking. Not a whole lot to ask. I just want more Punk and Cena. No big deal. All right. But overall, like I said, we scored this show a B. We've got a shit ton of Bs. So tomorrow's Weekend Review Awards could end up being very, very good. But folks, I hope you enjoyed Night of Champions. I hope you enjoyed my recap of Night of Champions. I'll probably talk a little bit more about it tomorrow on the show. Definitely need to give a little bit more time to Jade. Even though it is what it is, I get it. So tune in tomorrow, guys. The Slow Burn will be doing our Sunday weekend review show, all of our awards, and I am going to drop us a Slow Burn Mount Rushmore of talkers tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for joining us here. Thanks for watching wrestling, and thanks for being such a huge part of this, guys. Remember, share, like, comment, help me out as much as you can. Every single thing you do for my my videos when they're on the Facebook machine or on YouTube. Whatever reaction you give me, it helps. So keep them coming, guys, because it is much appreciated. So thanks for listening to the Slow Burn Pro Wrestling Podcast, where all professional wrestling storylines live. And remember, folks, in this world, we are wrestling everything. Stay on top.